Jai Hind, good afternoon, my dear loving children. Hope you are all prepared for your unit test 2, and I have shared your English syllabus for your unit test 2 several times, but again I am repeating it today. Just check it. Just check it, children. Uh, your literature section, you are having from the diary of Annie Frank, the 100 Dresses, part 1, part 2, the ball poem, right? And in your grammar section, you are having determiners and reported speech, right, children? Now, I would tell you how you would have your question paper. You know it well because once you have an experience of attempting the unit test, the online tests, yes, you are having the experience because the first test you had in on Microsoft Sheets. This time also you will have it not in Microsoft, right? So, children, in the same way, there will be MCQs and true and false, right? Literature you will be having of 20 marks. 20 marks you will be having for literature, 20 points, right? And 10 points you will be having for your grammar section. So what are you having for your grammar? You are having determiners and reported speech, right? And for your literature, what are you having? 100 Dresses, part 1, part 2, from the diary of Annie Frank, and the ball poem. Yes, and you will be having this time, you have to be very thorough with the chapter. Like I'm starting with the diary of Annie Frank. First, you will go through the explanation. Okay, Annie, a young Jewish girl, her journey, her life when she went to the concentration camp because of the attacks on the Jews, and then she went to a hiding, isn't it? And then from hiding to she went to a concentration camp, and there she expired. At the age of 13, she was gifted on her 13th birthday. She was gifted a diary from her father. Okay, and when she was in her hiding and in the concentration camp, she used to write the diary, penning down all her daily experiences, right, children? And what all he used to do? She used to do from her diary. We came to know that she was not very good in maths, right? We come to know about the episodes of Mr. Kissing, yes, the maths teacher, and last we see that in the camp all the members except the father all had expired. The father, after the death of Annie Frank, got in touch with the diary, and then he published the diary in 30 more languages apart from English, isn't it? So you would be going through the explanation. I'll be sharing the link also. Sorry. You will be. So children, what you will do, you will be going through the explanation of I'll be sharing my links. You will be going through the explanation, and then you will be giving a thorough reading. I have done the paragraph wise explanation also, isn't it? In some chapters I have done the main incident according the explanation according to the main incidents of the chapter. Now if you go through my explanation and then you go through the chapter, I'm sure you are going to attempt your UT test too. Now children, another thing, you have to be very thorough with each and every line and each and every incident of the chapter, because MCQ, you are having the short, very short answers from the chapter, and it may come from any corner from the beginning or at the end or at the middle or from anywhere it may come, children. So you have to be very thorough with the chapter. Like Annie Frank, first you tap the link, listen the explanation. Okay, because reading you have done once, I think so. Listen to the explanation. And then what you do? Then you again give reading to your chapter. Not only one time, but several time reading until unless you feel that yes, every corner, every line I am knowing from which corner the line has been extracted. I'm knowing that. So until unless you're having this confidence, please do not stop reading, revising the chapter. Now the question answers. Now as I told you that I'll be taking the MCQ, that doesn't mean that you won't learn the question answers. When you have got time, children, prepare the whole chapter all together. The question answers, that is a very short question answers, and the VBQ, the value based questions. Everything should be learned by heart. Clear, children? Now the 100 dresses, part 1, part 2. The story is about Vanda Petronovsky, who is a Polish girl. Now, she used to go to the school as the other children used to, but she never used to shout. She was very introvert, isn't it? And she used to sit at the corner, at the last bench corner of the class. She never used to mingle up, never used to laugh loudly or shout loudly like other children. Yes? And the place where she used to sit was it's not very clean. It was all muddy. And Maddie and Peggy, they used to wait for Wanda every day to make fun of her, and that was a sort of entertainment. Bullying Wanda Petronovsky was a sort of entertainment for Maggie and Peggy, but they reveal it at the end that they never wanted to hurt Wanda. Now there came a competition of a painting competition where they were asked to paint, and there Vanda had painted 100 patterns of 100 designs of dresses. And when she was asked that whether she said yes, she had several hundred dresses in her closet, but always she used to wear a blue faded dress in her school. And for that, the other children like Maddie and Peggy used to make fun of her, right? But she used to say no, she's having 100 dresses in her closet, but never she used to wear it, because she just told it just to banter off the bullies of her friends. Okay, but when the competition came, when the competition there was a competition, there she drew the designs of 100 dresses, children, and all her friends were stunned to see the designs, and she had bagged the first prize. All the room was decorated with her drawings, right? But in the part 2 we see that Wanda leaves the place where she was staying. Okay, with she moves up to some other state, and there she was not bullied by the other children. We see Peggy and Maddie missing Wanda, isn't it? And so this was all the story of Wanda Petronovsky. Now the link of this chapter also I'll be sharing, children. What you have to do is, what you have to do, you have to go through my explanation thoroughly, right? And then you will be going through the chapters. After the chapters, you will be learning the very short answers and the short answers, right? Very short answers are very short. Short answers 30 to 40 and VVQ. You will learn all the answers and you will just keep it aside. Done. Right? Now comes the ball poem. The ball poem is again a very important poem because it's very closely we are connected to this poem. The poem taught that we should also learn the epistemology of loss, that we should also learn the importance of loss. We see the child playing with the ball. He was bouncing the ball and somehow the ball he missed the ball and it bounced and it went and it fell into a tank or the sea, into the water. Now what happens when the poet saw the ball bouncing out from the hands of the boy and going to the water, he thought that he would interfere into this matter and give some money to the boy and ask him to buy another new one. But then and there, he was reminded, his conscience reminded him that no, it was the high time the child should learn the importance of loss. We cannot, the money is something which is very external. We cannot replace anything with money. The thing which we miss once, we miss it forever. When we get a new one, we get a purely new thing. The old one never returns, right? Likewise, now we always learn to gain something, but we should always learn to lose something, and henceforth we should learn the importance of a loss. This thing, every child should learn that money cannot buy anything which we lose in this world. Either it be a relation, or it be a book, or it be a ball, or anything else. We cannot replace anything with money. Okay? So this is what is there in the poem. In the poem, you have to learn the literary devices. That is very important, children. The rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme of the poem, you have to learn it by heart. You have to learn it by heart. The rhyme scheme, the literary devices. Now another thing, the name of the chapter, the spelling. The name of the chapter, the spelling. The name of the poem, the spelling. The name of the authors, the spelling. The name of the poet, the spelling. This is very important, children. You have to learn by heart, because for a single mistake of a letter, marks won't be awarded. Marks won't be awarded. Marks will only be awarded if you are writing it correctly, right? So please learn this thoroughly, right? Now I'll be sharing the extra question PDFs also for all the chapters. I'll be sharing the video links where I have explained the chapter. Everything I'll be sharing. Only thing you have to do is you have to be thorough with your preparation. You have to learn everything properly, right? Now we come to now 1 marks each. There will be MCQ question, children. 1 points or 1 marks each for each question. A, B, C, D. The options will be given. Only you have to write the options. Don't have to write the sentence. Only options you will be mentioning. A, B, C, D. Right? Right, children? And if it's true, false, you will write true, T or F. Not true or false. Hmm. You have to write only T or F if it is true and false. Don't write TRUE or FALSE. You will write only T and F. Correct? Now we come to the grammar section. In grammar section, what all you are having? You are having the reported speech and the determiners. Reported speech also, I'll be sharing the link, my video. There again you can go through my explanation. I've very clearly made you understand, right? So there would be, you would have no confusion in it. Just what is reported speech? When I'm saying something to you, this is my direct speech. When this speech has been narrated by you to some other person, that is indirect speech. So what all you have to remember while doing the direct and indirect speech, the narration, what you have to remember? What you have to remember? First, you have to see the tense of the reporting verb. If the reporting verb is in past tense, then the quoted reported speech will transfer into the corresponding past tense. Like if the reporting verb Rama said it is its past tense. So everything, if the sentence is in present tense, it would be transferred to its corresponding past tense. Yes, if the sentence is the quoted sentence and the reported speech is in the reported clause, which will be transferred to reported speech. If it is in past tense, I'm sorry, present tense, and the reporting verb is in past tense, then the reported speech would be transformed to the corresponding past tense. Corresponding of what? Corresponding to the present tense. It will be corresponding tense of the present tense. Corresponding past tense of the present tense. Like when the reporting verb is in the past tense, all the forms of present tense in the reported speech are changed into the corresponding past tense. Is changed into the corresponding past tense. Is that clear, children? Now, for example, I'm giving here. He said, I write. He said there will be a comma. I write will be within inverted comma. So, when you narrate it, this is a direct speech, children. Yes. But when you narrate it, what do you say? He, the comma and the inverted comma, it what happens? It vanishes, isn't it? Replacing it, and that replaces the comma and the inverted comma. So he said that he wrote. I write, he wrote. Right? I write, he said that. First he said, I write. So he said that he wrote. If it is said that he said, I am writing. So what it would be? He said that he was writing. If it is said that he said, I wrote, what it would be? He said that he had written. If it's written, he said, I had written. So what it would be? He said that I had written. There is no change in past perfect. Right? Quickly, I will be telling you about the change of the pronouns. Now, the pronouns, just this is a revision. I'll be sharing the link, the video also, the link also, where in the video very clearly I have made the table and I have explained you. Like, if I is in direct speech, what it would become in indirect, children? Write in the chat box. I see how much you have followed. I will be transformed to. You're not writing? I would be transferred to. Write it quickly, everybody. Yes. She, he. Yes. She, he. Me will be transferred to. Write it, write it. Me will be transformed to. Write it, children. Let me see. Him, her. Him, her. My will be transformed to. My will be changed to. Write it, write it. There is only one child who is very prompt. I won't name the child. But others also, please write it. My will be transformed to his, her. His, her. Mine, his, her. We, write we. Let me see what you have written. We, they. Good. They. Us, then. Us, then. Are, there. Good. Us, theirs. Now, the change of the time and place. Change of time and place. Let me see. Now will be changed to. Now will be changed to. Write it quickly. Write it, children. Now change to then. Tomorrow change to. Tomorrow will be changed to the next day. Last night will be previous night or night before. Then later would change to after. Later would change to after. Tonight would change to that night. Tonight would change to that night. Children, write this. Yesterday, write in my chat box. Quickly. Yesterday will change to. Children, are you writing? Type it first. Yesterday will change to the day before or the previous day. The previous day or the day before. Right? Now, the change of other words. This will be that. This will be that. Here will be there. Hence will be thence. Hence will be thence. Hereby will be thereby. Hereby will be thereby. Bring will be take. Bring will be take. Right, children? I wanted that if you could do 1 or 2 exercises with me. But you are not that prompt today. I want that everyone should write it. Now, in case of questions, what we are going to do? In case of questions, if the question is having yes or no answer, then in the narration, in the narrated speech, in the reported speech, what we are going to add? If or whether. Right? And for one word answer, like if the question is having a word answer or you have an answer to the question. So what you're going to do there? What you're going to do there, children? Yes, you have to transform the question to a sentence. You have to transfer the question to a sentence. And you are not putting a question mark at the end. You will be putting a full stop. You'll be putting a full stop. Right? Now, what more I wanted to tell you? in case of request, what used to request order, what you would do? So and so expressed in joy, so and so expressed in regret that, so and so expressed in joy that, right? So and so exclaimed with joy, so and so asked, right? So that's all, I think so. If there are exceptions also, if there is a mm, you may say an universal truth, even if the reported verb, if even if it is in past tense, but if the clause is in a universal truth, then there would be no change of tense. Am I correct? There would be no change of tense. Next, another thing I wanted to tell you, if the reported verb is in future, Ram will say, then also the clause, the sentence, the reported speech, the reported sentence doesn't change its tense. The tense does not change. Clear? So next, so in grammar also, you have to be very thorough, children. I wanted you to solve one or two, but I'm seeing that you are not that prompt today. Why? So I wanted that I would read out some questions and you will be doing it, and the answers you will be sharing it with me in the chat box. But you people are not that prompt today and will be wasting time, children. So the last we are left with the determiners. So determiners also, what you will have, the determiners are the noun modifiers, isn't it? So the determiners are the articles, the demonstrative adjectives, the numerals, and what else? The quantitative and the possessive. Now, in determiners, children, I'm going to give you one or two questions, and you will be writing only the answers. You don't have to write the whole sentences like reported speech. So you can just write the answer. I'll be satisfied that my children, they have understood determiners. In determiners also, I'll be sharing the links, right? So can I start doing it? Yes, children. Can I? Okay, then write this. Just a minute. The first, my aunt lived on dash ground floor. My aunt lived on dash ground floor. Write the answer quickly. I'm waiting. My aunt lived on dash the ground floor. Just I'm repeating it again and again. You don't have to write the question. My aunt lived on dash ground floor. Have you written? Yep. I'm waiting for your answers in my chat box. In my chat box. Write it, write it. I'm just checking it from here. My aunt lived on dash ground floor. Now, is it telling about some definite place? So it would be a definite article, isn't it? My aunt lived on the ground floor. Right, very good. 1 point to those who have written it. 1 point, give 1 point. Next, ground floor of dash old house on the bank. ground floor, it's a continuation, ground floor of dash old house on the bank. Ground floor of dash old house on the bank. So I'm repeating again, right? My aunt lived on the ground floor of dash old house on the bank. Ground floor of dash old house on the bank. Yes. Write it in the chat box quickly. Let me see. Who is the first one? Anne. Yes. My aunt lived on the ground floor of an old house. Of an old house. Right? My aunt lived on the ground floor of an old house. Right? On the bank of dash river Thames. On the bank of dash river Thames. On the bank of dash river Thames. So I'm repeating it. My aunt lived on the ground floor of an old house on the bank of dash river Thames. Are you writing? Are you writing, children? Shreya, she's always the first one. I didn't want to call out the name. Others, the, on the bank of the Thames. On the bank of the Thames. Right. She was afraid of burglars and always locked up dash house. She was afraid of burglars and always locked up dash house. She was afraid of burglars and always locked up dash house. Yes, the house. Very good. The house. So 4 points to those who have all the correct 4 answers. All the correct 4 answers will have 4 points. Let me see who is the one who is getting, or who are the one who are getting 5 out of 5 points. Now she took preparations of looking under the bed. She took precautions of looking under the bed to see if dash burglar was hiding. Very easy. Dash burglar was hiding. She took the precautions of looking under the bed to see if dash burglar was hiding there. She took preparations of looking under the bed to see if dash burglar was hiding there. Should I say the answer? Yes? Any? She took precautions of looking under the bed to see if any burglar, right? So now tell me, how many of you have scored full 5 points? Just let me know. Let me check. Who are the one who have got the full 5 points? So children, that's all for your revision. Hope you have prepared well, because in determiners I have seen that many of you have sounded well in the test, in the oral test. That too, it was an oral test, right? And so you will be doing good in your virtual test next day, where you would click the right option, right children? And my children in my subject would follow no discrepancy. They will be very fair children, as much, because see children, we are in a commitment, isn't it, that we have to, you will give me 95, I'll give you 95, isn't it, 95 plus. And in that commitment we have to be very fair. If you are not gaining any point, we are not getting, yes. So we are not prepared, we have to prepare more. That's it. अगर नहीं आ रहा है तो नहीं आ रहा है, फिर पढ़ लेंगे, फिर कर लेंगे, अभी तो समय है, isn't it? We won't follow any unfair means. And to get the full 30 marks, as ma'am told that I demand 30 marks from you people, so we have to take all the unfair means. No, ma'am demands 30 marks in a fair way children. जो नहीं आ रहा है वो नहीं आ रहा है. I will be happy if you say कि ma'am this much I could not do, ma'am this I have to learn more, ma'am this I have to read it, ma'am again I have to learn it. I'll be happier than with these things, rather getting 30 unfair points, right children? But I know my children, always you follow me whatever I said, not only today but I've seen you all these years. So good day, all the best for your preparations. Be fair, be good, be my children, as they are always good. All the best wishes for your UT2. I demand 30 marks, right? But in a fair way. Goodbye.